So, y'all, let's get into this one. He is doing what I would expect him to do. Is really American NBA great Amar Stoudemire says F you to pro Palestine. What is this doing here? What the hell? Okay. So nobody should be shocked over the position that Stoudemire is taking when it comes down to Hamas and Israel and everything that's going on there. So he recently came out and said, F you to pro Palestine, Black Lives Matter, and politicians for their silence over Hamas killing women and elderly. This is what he came out to say. So let's get into it. Retired NBA All Star, American Israeli citizen Amar Stoudemire is attacking pro Palestinian politicians and the Black Lives Matter movement for their silence in wake of Hamas coordinated terrorist attacks on the Jewish state. My question is, why do you have the expectation of Black Lives Matter speaking up? I mean, my question is, do they ever speak up on what's going on in Israel or that region? Are there anyone over there that's Black Lives Matter? I'm just curious. Is there anyone over there that is Black Lives Matter? And even if they are, why do you have an expectation of Black Lives Matter and you're not calling out any other group to make a statement on what's going on over there? I don't know, y'all. So, F you, Stoudemire said during a self shot video that he posted on Instagram. Figure out what? It ain't never been cool to kidnap kids and put them in cages. It's amazing how, what I never understand, y'all, when it comes down to us melanated folks, we're always expected to speak up on everybody's causes, but there can be a black man getting shot over a traffic stop, and all of these other groups never say one single word about it, and nothing ever gets said about it in the media or anywhere else. But when something happens to other groups of people, we are always the first ones they want to come to for comment. Now, I can understand you maybe saying something about Palestine or even Israel in this whole thing, but why Black Lives Matter? I'm not even for Black Lives Matter, but I don't know why he would drag them into this whole thing. But this is what he did. So he goes on and says, that's some coward S. The 40-year-old former Knicks and Suns star continued. That's cowardly. And for all y'all Black Lives Matter supporters who ain't saying nothing, well, let me figure out exactly what's happening before I say anything. F you, Stoudemire said during a self shot video posted on Instagram. So he goes on and said, ain't never been cool to kill women and elderly. Never been, no matter where you from, what you represent, what tribe you from. It don't matter. It ain't never been no cool thing. That ain't never been nothing nobody supported. And then you go and hide and put kids in front of you as a barricade. That's some coward s. So this is what he's saying. So as you can see in his comment, he is very pro Israel. That's where he is standing. So Stoudemire has been a public supporter of Israel even before becoming a dual citizen. Actually had a well-publicized meeting with then Israeli president, uh, Shimon Peres in 2013. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, Black Lives Matter has publicly backed Free Palestine movement for years, although the group has been careful not to include Hamas in its public messages of support of the movement. However, that distinction is irrelevant to Stoudemire, who also targeted politicians without naming anyone specifically. All of you politicians who have something to say on the contrary, I see you, Stoudemire said. F you. All you Black Lives Matter people who always have something to say and always supported everything else, and you quiet now, F you too. I mean, I can understand if the Israelis were primarily Black people and you brought up Black Lives Matter. They're not. They're not. And how many of them even stand on the side of Black Lives Matter? I'm sure it's not the majority by any stretch of the imagination. So, however, that distinction is irrelevant to Stoudemire. So, wow. Mm-mm-mm. So he finished by listing some of the things he loves about Israel. Only place in the world where I can go study Torah and eat kosher food. He said, only place in the world some coward s dog and all y'all support it. F you. Oh, and then he said, on my mama, we don't respect none of y'all for that. Peace. Mm, mm, mm. A mind is a terrible thing to waste, y'all. So, groups, spokespeople did not immediately respond to Daily Mail for comment. So, that's what he put out on Instagram. I so don't care to the point where I didn't even go out there to listen to his video. I guess somebody else will have the pleasure of posting that. I flat out refuse to. And number 2, ladies and gentlemen, I just remember where he stood when it came down to Kyrie Irving. I remember where he stood. And, it's amazing. He's so upset with everybody in Black Lives Matter, but he's a Black man. And when Kyrie was going through everything, he didn't exactly stand firm with him. I'm just saying, I'm just saying. He pretty much was on the other side and telling Kyrie he should apologize. And he didn't stand with the melanated man, did he? I'm just saying he's kind of hypocritical here, but that's where I stand when it comes down to him. Y'all tell me what you think about this story. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.